Fit&Flexi TV, I'm Ali T and welcome to your week 4 of your split series. So by now you should have done week 1, week 2 and week 3. So this week we are focusing more on static seated stretches because you were nice and warm already from doing week 1, week 2 and week 3. So before starting stretching in this video, I want you to make sure you've done stretches 1, 2 and 3 from the last 3 weeks. So week 4, you're coming down onto the floor. This is all about progressing your flexibility. Your muscles are really warm. We're just doing static stretches. So static stretching wise is all about increasing that flexibility and sort of, I don't want to say pushing yourself to your limit of stretching because I don't want you to push too far, but just reaching your maximum potential of each stretch. So stretch number 1, like always, we're going to hold for between 40 seconds and a minute. You're just going to have your legs out in front. I would like you to have them active, so not just completely relaxed. Your feet are flexed with your toes pointing towards the ceiling and push your knees into the floor so they're active and you're squeezing your quads. Then take your arms up above your head and reach for your toes. Your toes are in naughty toes position. If you ever did ballet when you were little like I did, this was good toes, this is naughty toes. So naughty toes, we want those naughty toes up this time. Sorry, ballet madams, but naughty toes, reach for those toes and you want them to be flexed. So again, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, reach forwards towards those toes and get a little bit lower and hold it down. Excellent. And again, deep breath in. Nose to toes, always, that's what we're always thinking throughout these split series, and you're trying to get your chest onto your legs. One more time, deep breath in, exhale and relax. That should stretch all the way down the back of the legs, and you just really want to hold it there and see how deep you can get. What you want to do is get to the point where you don't think you can stretch anymore, then take a deep breath in and ease off, and then as you exhale, stretch forward, because your muscle has a point where it feels like it can't stretch anymore, and that's its safety like catch. So get to that point, then take a deep breath in and ease off to let your muscles know that it's safe to stretch a little bit deeper, and you'll relax a little bit further than you think that you can go without having to push it. Good, and relax. Perfect, that is stretch 1. Stretch 2, then bend one leg in. We're just going to focus our attention on one leg. Exactly the same thing, arms up and then stretch forward and reach nose to toes. You should be able to go a little bit further when it's just one leg at a time. And this is to see if you've got any difference in your legs with your stretching. So most of the time when people are doing splits, they're better on one side than the other, and that is extremely normal. So all of the stretches that we've been doing on one side and then the other to make sure that we're even across both legs. So say for instance you're doing this video and you can get into splits on one side but not the other side, this is where you're really going to start to see the differences, and this is where I really want you to try to get flexible and even it out in each side. So other leg, bend the knee in, reach forwards and stretch forwards, and you're also opening up the hip flexor on the other side on the bent leg, because this leg is going to be what's behind you and your hip really needs to be super open. If you've seen my box splits video, that's all about opening up those hip flexors. If you're really enjoying this split series, please let me know in the comments. If you're getting more and more flexy and you're loving it and you'd like one on box splits, then also let me know and I can do a box split series for you on lots of hip openers. And they complement each other really well, obviously. So by doing the box splits series after this one, you'll be even lower into these forward splits and you'll already be warmed up and ready to go into your box splits. So it's just about hip openers. So let me know if that's something that you love, and then relax. Good. Talking of box splits, we're then going to take it into a straddle. So you're taking your legs out wide. It doesn't have to be as wide as you can go, just where you're comfortable. Keep your abs nice and tight, and we're taking it over to one side, like I said, stretching through one leg. So you should feel it through the back of the leg. Good, again, keep that foot nice and active, keep the leg active, keep pulling up on the quad and stretching through the hamstrings and the calves. Good, then take it over to the other side, See if there's a difference. You'll also get a really good lat stretch with this as well, so upper body stretch. Are there any other stretching series that you'd like actually, talking about this? As I can really feel it in my lats and my lower back too. So are there shoulder stretches or back bend stretches or any other series that you'd like to learn? Do let me know in the comments below. Fantastic, good. And then we're gonna bring it forwards. So really open up the hamstrings and the hip flexors and come forwards. If this is too much for you, then just place your hands on your toes or on the floor in front. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, inch those fingers forward. Like I said in my last video, stay nice and relaxed. Take nice deep breaths and try and get lots of oxygen into your muscles to avoid any cramping. So as you're statically stretching, this is when the lactic acid might build up because you're not moving and making sure that oxygen's flowing through the body. So this is where you can get cramping. So if you do get cramping at all, make sure you're drinking enough. Make sure you've got enough of a salt balance. So potassium from bananas is often a really good thing to have if you're cramping all the time. Make sure that potassium sodium level is right. Or you could have an isotonic drink like a Lucozade Sport or something just to balance those salts out, or a rehydration sachet. And also make sure that you're deep breathing when you're stretching, if that's the kind of feeling that you're getting when you are stretching. If you're shaking when you're stretching, ease off a little bit and just relax into it. Maybe take a little bit more time, spend a little bit more time stretching into it and relaxing. And when I say relax, quite a lot of people think about putting on relaxing music and things like that when they're stretching. I actually really like hip hop. So just bang on like your favourite tunes, and that's what's going to make you feel the most relaxed. So when people say meditate and things like that, if your mind is running wild when you're stretching and all you can think about is work or isolation or anything like that, so slow music might not work for you. So don't try to follow the trends that everyone else is doing. Just do what suits you. This is your time. We rarely take time out in the day for ourselves. So this is for you to enjoy. So put on whatever you want to put on. Create an environment that really suits you, and that's when you're going to be your most relaxed, and that's when you're going to reach your maximum potential in splits and in anything else as well. Nice. So don't be afraid to just be you and do what suits you, especially at home. So next stretch, you're lying down on the floor now. We're taking it really into static stretching. So we're just lying down. Make sure you're nice and warm. So if you want to add some layers on, you can. Hug one knee into the chest. First of all, hug it in and then hug it to the side around the hip. So it's just going to teach you that you get stuck by hugging it forward, but if you come around the side, then you can really open up the hip flexor. Good. So first of all, you're going to hug it in towards your rib cage, and I want you to breathe in and tuck your pelvis underneath and contract the abs so that your leg comes a little bit closer to you and you're actually holding it in, holding your abs. You're going to get a sexy little six pack at the same time. Good, so that's going to aid you to get a little bit closer to yourself than if your pelvis is up and you're just trying to pull on your leg. So the secret to flexibility, like I always say, is that hip alignment. Good, tuck your pelvis in, squeeze your knee towards you, and then you're going to straighten that leg up. Again, it doesn't matter how straight you can go. You could literally have it here. It's just as straight as feels comfortable to you, and then hold on to it either on the calf or on the back of the leg, on the hamstring. And I just want you to rotate your ankle so you start to feel a stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Then as you take a deep breath in, bend the knee. And as you exhale, straighten your leg out but a little bit further. And then again, circle the foot. And for this as well, I want you to keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Bend the knee and then straighten it up and circle the leg. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Don't try and force your leg towards you too much, and also don't let your bottom leg start to creep up. Keep pushing your leg that's on the floor into the floor, so you're really keeping your hip flexor and leg active and pushing it low, and you're having to straighten out your top leg and pull it towards you. The more you put your foot flexed, the more you can feel it down the back of your legs. That's those naughty toe stretches the more you've got it pointed, the more active your shin and quad is, so you can feel it on top of the leg. So you want to have it flexed as much as you can, so you can feel it down the back, because that's what's going to be active when you're stretching for splits. So we're bringing it towards you, towards the chest, so you can feel a stretch in the back of the leg, and then you're going to take it out to the side into like a leg hold stretch. So we're really working that hip flexor. And again, if you want to, you can bend the knee into the side and then open up the leg. And you might be able to get a little bit deeper on this side. Nice and relaxed. Take it over to the other side. So hug the knee in. First of all towards the ribs and then out to the side. See which way you're most flexible. Hug it in towards the ribs and then out to the side. Really open up the hips. Good, and then hug it in. Suck the abs in tight. Tuck the pelvis underneath and then make both legs active. Straighten them out and start to circle that foot. Now we can really see if there's a difference between your legs, because there might be a difference between height. Good, when bringing it up. Good, then take a deep bend, nice deep breath in. Exhale, stretch it out. Try and get a little bit deeper towards you. Good, and again, deep bend, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten it up. Good. And then deep bend. I'm much tighter on this side. This used to be my really loose side, but when dancing, I tore my hamstring by jumping in splits without being super warm. And so I've recovered from injury, so I know what it's like when you can't do the splits. And I've also done a lot of gym work in the past and then not stretched enough after lifting a lot of weights and getting really tight and losing my splits again. So I have been there on that frustrating journey of rehab and recovery, and it is all about taking it slow. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint with stretching, because the faster you try and push it and the more you try and push it, the slower you're going to get there and the more you're going to hold yourself back. If you just are patient, which I'm not, but I'm teaching myself how to be patient, then you will get there before you even realise. Good, then take the knee out to the side in your hip flexor and open it out into a leg hold stretch. So you're really stretching through the side of the hip flexor now. Keeping the other leg down on the floor, but keeping that pelvis tilted upwards towards the ceiling. So both legs are nice and active. Good, and see how low you can get it. Fantastic, and relax. Good. From there, like always after our videos, we've got to try splits, because that's our aim. So give splits a go on both sides. Perfect. And this is week 4, so you should be getting closer and closer and closer. So let me know how you're getting on in those comments. I'm intrigued to see how you're doing. Thanks for sticking with me on this fantastic journey. You've only got 1 week left, and then you'll see just how close you can get to those splits. Well done, you're doing really well. If you're enjoying it and you're looking forward to the last week, please give me a big like and subscribe to Fit&Flexi. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, so you can message me if you've got any questions or comments. And I shall see you next week in week 5 split series.